When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a special edition of the Make We Talk program, where we're listening, watching from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. This is Make We Talk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, it is Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares on YouTube. It is Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares LLC. If you see another YouTube channel by the name of Make We Talk, it's a fake one. It has nothing to do with me. You have some people who are trying to ride on my back to gain popularity. I'm not in here to gain any popularity. I'm here to see what I can do to assist my fellow Jamaicans. But you have some people who want to gain popularity and they can't come up with an idea of themselves. They have to piggyback on other people's ideas. So if you go on YouTube and you see a Make We Talk channel, it does not belong to me. On YouTube, it is Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares. Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares LLC. You will see that on YouTube. Welcome to our program this morning, wherever you are. Welcome. This morning has been a great morning so far. Been a great morning so far this morning. And I just want to say thanks to everyone who's coming on. Happy Hump Day. What is Hump Day? Thank you all for coming on this morning. This morning we're going to speak some more about what happened in the Parliament yesterday, about the Speaker of the House of Representatives. By the way, I see we're in the JCF put out a the JCF has put out another report. The country's record crime is going down. According to the JCF, 332 people were murdered. Hold on. 332 murders were reported between January 1st and April 20 of this year. That's 56 fewer than the 388 recorded for the corresponding period last year. They're saying that 14% drop in murder between January 1st and April 20 this year. when compared to the same period in 2023. I'm trying to figure out something here. I am no statistics expert, nor am I any expert of the JCF or any, this is what they're saying. The figure reported 14% drop in murder between January 1st, April 20 this year, something that adding up here. A 14% drop in murder between January 1st and April 20 this year. When compared to the corresponding period in 2023, according to the JCF, 332 murders were recorded between January this year and April 20, a few days ago. That is 56 fewer than the 388 recorded for the corresponding period last year. I don't know. I don't believe these figures. I do not believe the JCF. I refuse to believe the JCF. I didn't plan to come on here to speak about the JCF, but since the news came up and we're doing news, because it's a Make We Talk program, we're doing news, I'm going to play this thing here.
According to the JCF, 300 recorded between January 1 and April 20. According to the JCF, 332 murders were recorded between January 1 and April 20. That's 56 fewer than the 388 recorded for the corresponding period last year. Still, 21 people were killed across the country between April 13 and 20. Murders have increased in Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, St. Andrews Central, and St. Andrews South when compared to 2023. St. James continues to hold the dubious honor of being the most murderous police division, recording 42 homicides up to April 20. That's 8 fewer than the 50 recorded for the review period last year. St. Catherine North recorded 22 murders, 5 fewer than last year's corresponding period. The police have increased their presence in sections of that division following a flare-up in criminal activities. This comes after last Friday's killing of an alleged reputed leader of the notorious Spanish Town-based Klansman gang, Sheldon Walters, otherwise called Termite. In the meantime, shootings increased by 5%, coming in at 332 so far this year. That's 16 more than the number recorded for the review period last year. However, other major crimes such as rapes, robberies, and break-ins continue to decline. Shaloy.
No. I don't know if it is me. I don't know if I'm being negative or what. But there is something about these figures coming in from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We're going to get to the topic we're going to speak about, because the topic we're going to speak about today is the House Speaker letter to former Clerk. She said it's not on her record. The letter she wrote to Mrs. Curtis has not been on Mrs. Curtis' record. She didn't put it on Mrs. Curtis' record. And we're going to speak about the report, the handling report of the ICG and also the Attorney General. But this just came up on a website. I think it's a Gleaner website, yes. And also that famous radio station there in Jamaica, nationwide. But I do not believe the figures of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. There is something about these figures that is not adding up. And you know something? as bad as things may be, I remember at one point when they were on the rampage of killing taxi operators. The people who said that they represented the taxi groups in Jamaica, they were keeping a tally of the murders of taxi operators. And when they went on nationwide news and gave the true figure, before the person who went on nationwide from the Taxis Association gave the true figure of how much taxi operators were murdered, they get a call from the JCF hierarchy and ask them, they must desist from doing that because that's not the true figure. I've been thinking about this from a long time, way before those people came out. I said the JCF figures are not correct. And when I get whiff of the whole thing, that I'm a hierarchy member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, call those two persons who are in charge of the taxi groups in our country and say to them, look here, you have to desist from saying things like that. I'm not talking about this nonsense. As the time I get and I say to myself, you know what? The JCF is not giving the people of Jamaica the true figures of the murder rates in this country. And this has been going on for years. Not only on this administration alone, but I believe under this administration, it become worse. It become worse. How can we trust the new commissioner of police if he can't come out and tell us Jamaica's true murder rate? If he can't come out and tell us, hey, crime has increased, and every day you hear crime going down, but you hear how much drive-by shooting. There was a drive-by shooting in Lawrence Tavern, I think it was Monday morning. Is that in the report? A drive-by shooting in Lawrence Tavern in St. Andrew. Was that in the report? Huh? Was that put in the report? But yet you can hear these people talking about murder gone down in this country. And you will hear about other murders across the country. But there's a corresponding period between January 1st of this year to August 20. Crime has gone down how much percent? Murders has gone down how much percent? I'm wondering if these people are living in the same Jamaica that we're living in. I wonder if these people are living in the same Jamaica that you and I is living in. Huh? It begs to ask the question this morning, as we're going to segue into the topic of the morning. But it begs to ask the question this morning. How much does Jamaicans really trust the hierarchy of the Jamaica Constabulary Force? If they continue lying to the people of this country, how much do we really trust them? If they continue going around and lying to us and have us to believe that they are in good that they're coming out with the figures and that those are the true figures, it begs to ask the question, do they expect the Jamaican people to believe the figures that they give out every day or every quarter or whenever time they give it out? Do they believe that the Jamaican people are so dumb? They don't have any sense. Why the murder rate in our country is going up, and yet they're saying it's going down? Because we can't read and we don't have no understanding. We cannot read and we have no understanding of what is going on. We don't take up books or anything and read because we're a bunch of nincompoop for them. We're a bunch of dodo heads. We, the people of this country, have no sense to the people who they set to govern us. Not me who said it, you know. It's come from the JCF, and this is what the JCF said, not me. The JCF said murder is down 14%. 14% dropped in murders between January 1st and April 20 of this year. When compared to the same period of 2023, according to the JCF, 332 murders were reported between January 1st and April 20 of this year. That is 56 fewer than the 388 recorded for the corresponding period of last year. I don't understand this. And I'm asking everyone on this platform here this morning to be focused, to be very focused, because you have some people who are being paid by the Labour Party and other parties in this country to come over here and try to distract us from what we set out to do. So I'm asking you all this morning on this platform here to be very focused, because all they do is sit down and see when they come on and they spread their propaganda. No, I will not listen to them nor be distracted by them. Go in the Jamaica Gleaner of today. For those who can read, let them read. And for those who can listen, let them listen. The JCF, according to the JCF, and I'm looking for something to put up also, you know. But let me play back this news clip in here. Not me who said it, is the Jamaica Constabulary Force who said it.
According to the JCF, 300 between January 1 and April. According to the JCF, 332 murders were recorded between January 1 and April 20. That's 56 fewer than the 388 recorded for the corresponding period last year. Still, 21 people were killed across the country between April 13 and 20. Murders have increased in Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, St. Andrews Central, and St. Andrews South when compared to 2023. St. James continues to hold the dubious honor of being the most murderous police division, recording 42 homicides up to April 20. That's 8 fewer than the 50 recorded for the review period last year. St. Catherine North recorded 22 murders, 5 fewer than last year's corresponding period. The police have increased their presence in sections of that division following a flare-up in criminal activities. This comes after last Friday's killing of an alleged reputed leader of the notorious Spanish Town-based Klansman gang, Sheldon Walters, otherwise called Termite. In the meantime, shootings increased by 5%, coming in at 332 so far this year. That's 16 more than the number recorded for the review period last year. However, other major crimes such as rapes, robberies, and break-ins continue to decline.
Continue to decline. You know, let me address Mr. Vegas this morning. Mr. Vegas, if you know who Jeffrey Tavares is, you see? I don't apologize for nothing that I say on this program. As long as it is truth, and as long as it is truth, and it's factual, I will not apologize. So if you sup up under Mrs. Holness, you can go apologize to her. But I will not apologize for what I'm going to say. Until she and her husband apologize to the people of Jamaica for what they're doing to the people of this country, then I would apologize to them. But for now, I don't see where I should apologize to them. Anyway, you won't come over and distract me. I will continue to what I'm speaking about. I do not see, nor do I believe, what the Jamaica Constabulary Force is saying about murders in this country. I don't believe it. And I'll continue to say it. I do not believe it. The murders in this country continue going up and up, not down. So I don't understand why the JCF keep on telling the people of this country that murder is going down. When you look at it, murder is going sky high in this country. And I hear somebody say I must delete Mr. Vegas. I'm not going to delete him, you know. Everybody's entitled to freedom of speech. Everybody's entitled to freedom of speech. And I would allow Mr. Vegas to continue to rant and rave his political agenda. We all can see that he's not for Jamaica. He's out for his Labour Party. So I will not accommodate or listen to Mr. Vegas. I will not be like Gino Jennings by saying, usher him out. Usher him out. I will not be like Gino Jennings, who said, usher him out. You know? Anyway, let me continue my conversation this morning. As you come over here to distract people. You're going to distract me this morning. The whole idea of they're saying that crime is going on in this country. And yet you don't hear them put into the drive-by shooting that happened a couple weeks ago. Or a couple days ago, rather. I think it was Sunday morning, yes. In the Sunday morning in up in Lawrence Tavern in St. Andrew. There was a drive-by shooting up there, and I don't think the JCF put this in there. And they have been murdered, committed between Clarendon, Westmoreland, and St. James, especially St. James. You know, they need to tell about this country. How do they put in, or how do they tally the murder figures in this country? Because we don't understand this. I'm going to switch to the conversation. I'm going to have the topic I'm going to have about Mrs. Juliet Holness. Mr. Vegas God. I want to speak about that soon. Hold on for me. There is something that I want to show everybody that I see coming over the hold on. I hope this thing can come over here. Let me get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Let me start this right here. Hold on there. Give me a minute, please. I'm going to try to make you see something here that I don't understand, regardless of what this individual may have done. It does not justify the JCF or members of the JCF to be going around and taking out their baton and beating the people of this country, the taxpayers of this country, who is paying them. We, the people of this country, paying them, you know. I hope you all can see this properly.
Yo, get up on camera. Hi, get up on camera.
When these members of the JCF should be going around and fight and finding these notorious criminals, you see what they're doing? It does not matter what the citizen does. Okay? If a police hold a citizen hand to handcuff the person, what give you the right to be taking out that piece of iron there and beating your daughter or your son? What gives the members of the JCF the right to do so? Huh? What gives them the right to do this? But this is the country we're living in. This is the country that Mr. Vegas gods, Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness preside over. The God of Mr. Vegas, the same Mr. Vegas who sing, the artist Mr. Vegas, Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness is his God. Him not see nothing wrong in what they're doing in the country. Because they worship them. You get every man in worship Juliet. Oh, Master Prince Andrew, we'll worship you. Oh, Princess Juliet, I worship you. That ain't going with. Well, neither Juliet nor Andrew Holness. Not putting on my 10-pound of chicken back on fire. Nor buying me 3 tin of tin mackerel. So if you want to come over here and act as if you think that I'm Gina Jennings, you make a sad mistake. I'm not Gina Jennings. Let us switch the conversation to these two people now. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mrs. Juliet Holness. Yesterday, in the Parliament of Jamaica, In the Parliament of Jamaica yesterday, Mrs. Holness, let me see something here. Should have never deleted this thing, but let me go back to this. In the Parliament of Jamaica yesterday, Lady Holness, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, was praising Mrs. Curtis, the former clerk of the House, how she was a very good clerk of the House and she was this and she was that. She and her hypocrite husband, I'm not afraid to say them a hypocrite. She and her hypocrite husband, the so-called Prime Minister of this country, the God, the demigod of Jamaica, she and her husband was praising Mrs. Curtis by saying how she has been a great clerk of the house and she have done a tremendous work for Jamaica as a civil servant and all sort of shebangarang. All sort of things they were talking about in the Parliament yesterday. And it led me this morning to ask some questions of both Mr. Holness and Mrs. Holness. Mrs. Holness, you did not see it. You did not see it fit not to write that letter by saying Mrs. Curtis was dropping down on her job. She wasn't doing her job properly. And she was bringing the house into disrepute by not doing her job properly. Mrs. Holness, you didn't see that, ma'am? Mrs. Holness yesterday said the letter she sent to the former clerk of the House of Representatives, Valerie Curtis, was not put on her file, on her HR file. Was not put on her HR file. This woman could be Juliet Holness' mother, you know. Mrs. Curtis will serve this country well. Who don't have her hand mixed up in no iniquity or no bangarang in this country. Mrs. Curtis, who has served the people of Jamaica well. Who have served the Jamaican people well. Her hands are clean. Tavares, can you get... What item you talking about? What should I get in Florida? Anyway, Mrs. Holness, when you wrote the letter to Mrs. Curtis and the outcry for you to apologize and withdraw that letter, why didn't you come to the Parliament the next Tuesday, ma'am, and do so? Why it took you so long? And now yesterday you all going to the Parliament to pay tribute to Mrs. Curtis. The letter you wrote to Mrs. Curtis was leaked to the media and on social media. Huh? How did the letter leak to social media, Mrs. Holness? You are in charge of the clerk of the houses, you know. And if you wrote a letter, Mrs. Holness, how did a famous radio station in Jamaica, or how did the media get a whiff of that letter, ma'am? That Mrs. Curtis on her way home with her son in the car on Mandela Highway. That's the time she heard about the letter. Is it a plan that you had in place all along? That when this civil servant, one of Jamaica's finest civil servants, who decided to go on retirement, was it a plan of yours, Mrs. Holness, to put a cloud over this woman's name and reputation? Was it a plan of you, Mrs. Holness? If it wasn't a plan of you, ma'am, why did you write the letter in the first place? And if you said that you wrote the letter in the first place, why didn't you come in the Parliament of Jamaica and issue an apology? Why, until this blessed day, you refuse to issue an apology to Mrs. Curtis? Is it that you think you're too bigger than Mrs. Curtis? Is it that you think that because you're the Speaker of the House of Parliament, Ms. Curtis is beneath you, so you can't apologize to her? And now yesterday, the hypocrisy of you and your husband, who is the Prime Minister of this country, to go into the Parliament and talking about how Mrs. Curtis have served this country well. That's hypocrisy. Well, it's hypocrisy. I want you all to listen to what went on in the Parliament yesterday.
The letter in question heavily criticized Ms. Curtis for her handling of reports from the letter in question heavily criticized Ms. Curtis for her handling of reports from the Auditor General's Department. Mrs. Holness accused the clerk of dereliction of duty and charged that the reprimand would be added to her record just days before her retirement.
Dereliction of duty. That's a very big word, you know. Dereliction of duty. That means Mrs. Curtis fall down on the job. She's not doing her job correctly. Listen to this some more.
However, Mrs. Holness says this was never followed through.
On a particular administrative matter and the resulting procedural communication to her, which was never placed on her HR record, but which has unfortunately been circulated in the public domain, was never intended to distract from her years of service and valuable contribution.
That's a lie. If you did not have any intention, Mrs. Holness, of putting a cloud over Mrs. Curtis' reputation and her years of service to the people of this country, why did you write that letter? Mrs. Holness, Madam Speaker of the House of Parliament of Jamaica, if you did not want to put a cloud over Mrs. Valerie Curtis' reputation and her years of service to the people of this country, why did you write the letter? Listen to some more of what the Madam Speaker of the House of Representatives said.
To the Parliament. Therefore, it is important for me to state that I continue to hold the retired clerk in high regard and acknowledge her contribution.
You're a liar. You're a pathologically mendacious speaker. You are a pathologically mendacious speaker. You are a pathologically mendacious speaker, Mrs. Holness. You're a pathologically mendacious Speaker of the House of Parliament. And all those who know what that means, go look it up. You're a liar.
And not allow that to be overshadowed for any reason. The former clerk has left an indelible mark on the Parliament, and it is our hope that she will enjoy her well-deserved retirement.
Similarly, Prime Minister Andrew Holness praised the former clerk for her sterling contribution to the affairs of Gordon House.
Madam Speaker, you have mentioned that there is a particular administrative matter which has made its way into the public domain and which would have cast a certain unfortunate.
You are the Prime Minister of this country. You're in charge of one branch of government, and your wife is in charge of the other branch of government. Prime Minister Holness, is it that you could not look on your wife, who is the Speaker of the House, and say, listen to me? Outside of the Parliament, you call her Juliet, or darling, or honey, or sweetie pie. Whatever you want to call her. You couldn't say to her, Juliet, the letter you wrote to Mrs. Curtis is not right, you know. Tear up that letter and go back to the Parliament and apologize about it. Let the lady go on her retirement in grace and love and humility and respect. Why didn't you do that, Mr. Holness? For you now to come in the Parliament of Jamaica and acting as if you did not hear what your wife did, who is the Speaker of the House. Acting as if you all did not have anything up on the sleeve to let this civil servant who has served this country under the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party, because she served the Parliament of Jamaica under Bruce Golding. And this never happened under Bruce Golding. And you're coming to the Parliament of Jamaica yesterday and saying that, I tell you something, you know, that is why Nestor Morgan said, you know, you can't believe the words of a politician. Their own Minister of Information said it, not me. Listen to some more what the Prime Minister said about Mrs. Curtis.
Shadow on a career that has well served this Parliament. Madam.
You see, to cast a shadow on a career that was well served in the Parliament of Jamaica. What is wrong with these people? What is really wrong with these people? Are they taking us for a bunch of idiots in this country? I'll ask the question again. Mrs. Holness, if you did not have any plans to cast a cloud over Mrs. Valerie Curtis' career as a civil servant in this country, who has served the people of Jamaica well, why did you write such a letter about dereliction of duty? So how is it that when she was serving your former party leader, Bruce Golding, how this never come up? She served Portia Simpson Miller. How this never come up? Huh? And if my memory serves me correctly, I think she was serving. No. I don't think she served PJ Patterson. No. So how is it never come up? Why is it as an Aud-G report coming to the Parliament, all of this is coming up about Mrs. Curtis? And you and your husband gonna come to the Parliament yesterday with a mouthful of pale lies and talking how Mrs. Curtis served this country well, and there's nothing to overshadow. We didn't plan to overshadow her retirement of the service of her country and the Parliament. Listen to me. Karma is something else, you know. Karma. You let Mrs. Curtis go home that night. Didn't have no sleep. I read in a report, in a letter, that Mrs. Curtis said when she went home, because she and her son, mothers and their sons are very close. And she said when she went home the night, she lay in her bed with her eyes open to the ceiling. And her son keep on coming in to see if she was sleeping. Huh? But you could sleep that night, Mrs. Holness, in your mansion in the sky. With your two sons that are asking if you can't sleep. Do you believe that the people of Jamaica respect you and your husband, Mrs. Holness, for what you have done to the people of this country? I had a demonstration. Listen to me. Don't get me wrong, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. I respect the office that you two hold. You two have done me anything. And I had the pleasure of speaking to both of you on several occasions. But I have to ask the question this morning or this afternoon. Do you believe that the majority of Jamaicans respect you? We have to respect the office of the Prime Minister. You may not respect the Prime Minister who is the person who was Prime Minister. But respect the office of Prime Minister because it's Jamaica's office. It's Andrew Holness' office. Let's listen to some more.
Speaker, I note your statements regarding your own respect and acknowledgement of the.
You know, hear this? It's as if they told them make up for listener. Him know the respect that his wife, who is the Speaker of the House, have for Mrs. Valerie Curtis. So tell me something now. If you respect Mrs. Valerie Curtis, Mrs. Holness, I ask you the question again. What prompted you to write that letter? What prompted you to write that letter? And if you wrote the letter, why didn't you come back to the public, since you respect her, withdraw the letter and apologize to the lady? Why didn't you do that? Apparently, you called Mrs. Curtis one way to apologize to her. Mrs. Curtis telling you no, she don't want it that way. Go back into the public domain. Go back to the Parliament of Jamaica, Mrs. Holness, and do the honorable thing and apologize to the lady. She could be your mother. But of course, Mrs. Curtis is not a part of the Vom Vavant. I'm the Vom Vavin of Upper St. Andrew. Nor Cherry Garden. Nor Brooker. So you can't, you won't apologize to her. Because we, the Jamaican people, is beneath all of you. You should have apologized to her from the beginning. When the public outburst came, and you sit down and say to yourself, what have I done? You should have gone back to the Parliament of Jamaica and apologize to Mrs. Curtis. But you didn't do that. Because you're too big to apologize to Mrs. Curtis. Same way your husband is too big to apologize to the Jamaican people for walking out on them in the Parliament of Jamaica. Mr. Holness let a walkout of all government members. They walk out on themselves and they walk out on the Jamaican people. A lot of Jamaicans on social media, oh, Andrew walk out for Mark. Walk up on which Mark Golden? Mr. Holness did not walk out on Mr. Golden. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, who is Michael Andrew Holness, walked out on the Jamaican people because they have no respect for the Jamaican people. They believe that they're above the Jamaican people. Never in the history of Jamaica have a budget presentation and the government walk out on its people. Never in Jamaica's history. But it happened. It happened because it's to show us, the Jamaican people, that the political leaders that we put there has no scant regard for us as people. He walking out and us show us that we are nothing to him. We are nothing to him. Let's listen to some more of what he said. And other members of the parliament said, because I don't know. Listen to some more.
Service of our former clerk. I note the statement made by the leader of opposition business. We join in saying that we too would want her to be here to receive our tributes in person.
However, leader of opposition business Philip Paulwell.
Hold on. We too would love to see her in the parliament to receive the tributes that we're going to give to, hello. The tributes that both the Prime Minister and his wife is giving her has no meaning. It has no substance. It has no belly. It have nothing in it. Just empty air. You know what empty air mean? Just empty air. Listen to this.
Says it was unfortunate that the clerk left with such a cloud over her head. He again called for the letter in question to be withdrawn and a public apology issued to Ms. Curtis.
The leader of government business will also note my deeper concern that the former clerk has departed with this tremendous cloud that exists. And he knows that we could not come here today to pay meaningful tribute unless, and sincere tribute, unless that issue is dealt with. And our position has been that it was an unfortunate letter, and we believe that the letter should be withdrawn, but more so, and based on her own words, it was a tremendous embarrassment to her family and friends. And that in addition to the withdrawal of the letter, there should be a public apology offered.
That was the voice of opposition business leader in the Senate, in the House, Philip Paulwell. Mr. Paulwell is once again calling on Mrs. Holness to issue a public apology and withdraw the letter. In today's paper, Mrs. Holness is saying that the letter was never intended to be on Mrs. Curtis for record. So why did you write the letter? If you had no intention of putting this on her personal file, why did you write the letter? Why? May God help this nation of ours. We have some people governing this country, see? I keep on telling you, they'll walk hills and valleys to get vote. And when they get the vote, they don't remember anything about us. I don't think the Speaker of the House know the meaning of public, though, you know. Mrs. Curtis says she need a public apology. And I don't think the Speaker of the House know the meaning of public, you know. And Mrs. Curtis, I thank you for the service, the how many years of service to this country of ours, Mrs. Curtis. On the behalf of the Make We Talk program, Mrs. Curtis, I thank you for your service, your indelible service to the people of this country. I thank you very much, ma'am. But do not hold your breath and Juliet Holness apologizing to you publicly, ma'am. Do not hold your breath and the Speaker of the House of Representatives apologizing to you publicly. Because they think they're too big to do such things, ma'am. We're nothing to them. They're nothing to us, ma'am. We're nothing to them, rather. We're living in a nation where, honestly, our leaders majority of our leaders has no respect for us. And you know why? Because we don't let them know that we are the one who is paying them. We don't let them know that. Something was sent to my phone this morning. I want to read it to you all. A good friend of mine sent me this morning. And I want you all to listen to it. I want to read it to you all, rather. And then I want to play the other clipping of Mrs. Holness talking about the tabling of the IG and the Attorney General and all sorts of shebang around. Listen to this. Study of living in Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad. GDP per capita, Jamaica, US $5,000. Bahamas, US $33,000. Trinidad and Tobago, $16,000. Prime Minister salary, Jamaica, US $200,000. Bahamas Prime Minister salary, US $86,000. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister salary, US $85,000. The PM for Bahamas get 2.6 times his country's GDP salary, for salary rather. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister get 5.3 times his country's GDP per salary. And Jamaica's Prime Minister get 40 times the country's GDP per salary. 40 times Jamaica's GDP per salary. The Prime Minister of Jamaica get 40 times Jamaica's gross domestic product for his salary. That is why they can go around and disrespect all of us. That is why they can go around and tell us what they feel like telling us. Because we're nothing to them. We're absolutely nothing to them. Let us go back to the other clipping that I have of Mrs. Holness speaking in the parliament yesterday. I go back to that, please. But that is what they are getting. Just to show you that we're absolutely nothing to them in this country. By the way, I see an item of news coming into us now too, wherein the government has filed an application to resolve what is this as the sorry. The government has filed an application, 17-page document. Government has filed 17 grounds of application to overturn the DPP. In other words, they decide to go to the appeals court now because they, according to Delaware, the Constitutional Court and the DBDB Court. The Constitutional Court is a DBDB court according to Delaware. But the whole DPP thing is a different kettle of fish. Different conversation. Now let's go continue with Mrs. Holness. Let's continue with Mrs. Juliet Holness. We're going to read and let you listen to something that she said in the Parliament of Jamaica yesterday. House Speaker tabled Aud-G rehandling of the IC Integrity Commission report. We're going to let you listen to what they said. The Speaker of the House of Representatives yesterday, Mrs. Juliet Holness, has publicly pursued and tabled the Attorney General opinion on the handling of the report from the Integrity Commission and the Attorney General. Listen to what the good lady said in the Parliament yesterday. Because I don't know. Honestly, the country of ours that we claim that we love. I asked the question many times. Do we truly love Jamaica? Or do we love our political elites, like some of them on the platform, who come over here and take up for their party? Listen to what Mrs. Holness said.
I have caused to lay on the table of Parliament the advice of the Attorney General as well as the advice of the Legislative Council for Parliament, which formed part of my review and consideration regarding the process to be engaged when tabling reports of the Auditor General in respect of public bodies. I have also laid on the table the opinions as it relates to the Integrity Commission. This does not in any way set precedents for the tabling of legal advice given to the Speaker in the future. However, as Speaker, my ultimate duty is to ensure clarity and full understanding by the Jamaican people in public affairs.
By the Jamaican people in public affairs. But Mrs. Holness, you and the Attorney General, you know, when the Attorney General give you an opinion on something that is of vital importance and for the public of Jamaica, it is your duty, ma'am, to come back and tell the people of Jamaica what the Attorney General says. The Jamaican people is the one who's paying the Jamaica's Attorney General, not you, Mrs. Holness. Not you. Not you, Mrs. Juliet Holness. The people of Jamaica is paying the Attorney General of Jamaica. Not you, Mrs. Holness. And I ask the question time and time again. Why is it that you people believe that we, the Jamaican people, are a bunch of nincompoops? Huh? Why you all believe that we, the Jamaican people, are a bunch of fools? We're no fools, you know. If you all believe that we're fools, we're no fools. Listen to some more what Mrs. Holness said.
Regardless of my ruling and the differing legal perspective provided as it relates to reports of the Auditor General, they have all been tabled, and I will continue.
She said that they have all been tabled. You remember, you know, and me make up this, you can go back to tomorrow, to yesterday, sitting at the parliament, I bring life on this program. If you don't believe me, go to the Jamaica Information Service website on YouTube and look up for yesterday sitting at the Parliament of Jamaica and listen to what Mrs. Holness said. She said every single report have been tabled.
To table the reports accordingly to previously established practice for the time being. Nevertheless, in the interest of good governance, I urge this House and strongly urge this House to act quickly to review the relevant legislation to remove any ambiguity or gaps in
any ambiguity or gaps. Jesus. Jamaica, listen to some more.
The process. Thank you. Petitions.
Hold on.
I have cause to lay.
We are going to listen to this over, and I want you to listen to it keenly. I want you all to listen to this keenly, please.
On the table of Parliament, the advice of the Attorney General as well as the advice of the Legislative Council for Parliament, which formed part of my review and consideration regarding the process to be engaged when tabling reports of the Auditor General in respect of public bodies. I have also laid on the table the opinions as it relates to the Integrity Commission. This does not in any way set precedents for the tabling of legal advice given to the Speaker in the future. However, as Speaker, my ultimate duty.
In other words, she's saying, if I'm reading this thing, listen to her carefully and analyzing it, in my opinion, in my way. What she's saying, you know, that she has no obligation to come to the Parliament and the Jamaican people to tell her no. Anything that the Attorney General tell her. If she goes to the Attorney General for some legal advice pertaining to anything else, like all tabling of whatever, she is not obligated to come and tell you people anything. She run things. You remember when Siaga said, I'm the only Dan in this party, and all the others are Donovans? Exactly what she's saying. She's saying that she's the only Dan in this parliament, and all of them are Donovans. When Siaga told the gang of 5, light a candle and sing a song and find a way back home. Yes, that's what is going on in the parliament now. The Jamaican people must light a candle and sing a Sankey. Find a way back home because Madam Princess Juliet is in charge. But I don't like it, yes, sir. No, she in charge. She can't go bulldoze on anybody land and take it away. I'm not come out of it. She in charge. Father, help us, O Lord. That is why I tell you all on this platform, get a copy of your constitution. I'm going to say it again. Every single soul on this platform here, who is on this platform listening to me, please, as a Jamaican citizen, get a copy of your constitution. Read the Charter of Fundamental Rights. Read your constitution. I am asking everyone on this platform here, Get a copy of your Jamaican Constitution. Google it. Somebody from this platform here went and bought a copy of the Constitution off, must be either Amazon or somewhere. I think it's either she or he. I don't remember who it was. And they sent me, I think it's a copy of the receipt that they bought a copy of the Constitution. Go and buy a copy of the Jamaican Constitution. For those in Jamaica, Google your Constitution and see where you can get it in Jamaica. I must ask my good friend Luke George where they can get it to buy. Get a copy of your Constitution. Do not listen to everything I say and take it for gospel. Go and research it. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Hi, how you doing, Mr. Tavares?
I am here looking and living, ma'am. How you doing?
Me they all look and live like everybody else. You can't say them then set up your eye blood. Oh, you can't? My father was all the cake get from her ground.
Who?
My mother.
Say what?
Say all they get from her is ground.
It's grown.
Yeah.
You see you.
All they get from her ground. And you take the hog out of the mud, you can't get the mud out of him. Have a nice day.
All right, they come to get your brain that's gone, sir.
No, when me want to talk about Jeffrey, you're not going to tolerate me.
What?
You see the little 15-year-old and the little 14-year-old killed down at Irving.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes. Talk about
Jeffrey, me say, I know when me talk about it, the belly move with compassion. My belly move with compassion. Right? And it's not, bullying is in a one school, in not every school. Every school. You know, see it, in every school. Right? I bully them, I bully the youth, you know. Bully them, I bully the youth. And the one time the youth stand up to them, I say him enough.
And stop him and kill him.
Yeah. And then now it out there in the streets, and the youth own and the youth knife killing. Yeah, the youth carry knife go to school, but who use the knife on him?
So what, they took his own knife and kill him?
That's what they are saying. We see just on social media yesterday, we see on social media saying own a knife killing. Yeah, him can knife go to school. If it wasn't for a reason, he wouldn't carry knife go to school. But take the knife and stab him. And him stab himself. I saw him done. After 2 years.
The center cannot hold. Mayor and occupy the land.
Jeffrey, at 2 years, the youth have said to him mother say he want to get a transfer now. And up to last year, the mother paid the school fee. And with all of that, with all she paid the $7,000 school fee, she still not take up the youth and say she lose big time. Lose big time. Jeffrey, if I'm me and me picking it, I'm saying no interested to go to school anymore. Me have to find out what making no interested now. If he want to move me, and the quickest way for me to move him, you know.
I tell you something, you know. What we need to do as parents is when our child come to us about sit down and listen. Hold on for me.
Listen. Jeffrey, me can't say it no more. Me can't say it no more, Jeffrey. Listen to the youth. Them. It must be something. You as parents are supposed to listen to your beginning them. Listen what them I say. You can't so busy that you can't listen to your youth them.
We need to listen. Back in the days, for mama and papa never listen to we, you know. So we have this thing in our head that we must listen to our kids. No. Listen to our children. Listen to them when they come to you. Sit down, find time and sit down and listen to them. Talk to them about things. Because the world out there today is not the world of yesterday.
It's a jungle. It's a jungle. In my days, my parents listen to me, especially my mother. My mother, when you come home, my mother asks, she said, what happened at school today? What going to school today? How was school today? And I have that with my children and my grandchildren. Them. You know, how was school today? Because it's a jungle out there. We have to listen to a picnic. The youth are telling mother for the past 2 years that he want a transfer. And up to last year, September, the mother paid the $7,000 for the school fee. Yes, it's a single parent, I agree. And it's hard. But bypass the $7,000 where you pay it and find someone send your youth. I didn't find someone send your youth and transfer him. Him not living to the year.
True.
Right? And then they look up 4, 5, 6 boy. What take the woman picking like Jeffrey, that is me. Me know something about Jeffrey, me say for me, my you not dead son. I pray them my you and up in the trouble. Do you not get trouble neither in the yard, in the community, in our school, and you and to go like that? Tell to the know, Jeffrey, as the sun is shining out of the world. My you dead now go so. Me not care who you want to be. And I understand that those set of boys they are leading to young in the area. The one that do this stabbing, I must say uncle or cousin a leader. It's some young are leader.
It is alleged.
It is alleged. Right? It is alleged. Jeffrey, my youth, that now go say for me.
Yes.
Jeffrey, and me not know nothing about the little youth. Me not know the little youth. And the time me talk about it, my body just get nervous.
All right.
Right? Parents need to listen to the children. Ask them, sit down and talk to them. You can't so busy if you not listen to what you're picking and say, family come first, white man says so.
True. All right, darling. Thanks for calling in.
All right, Jeffrey, good.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Make Me Talk program.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tavares.
Good afternoon, sir.
And thank you for your great work, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Tavares, do you see what Jamaica coming to, sir?
You miss what Jamaica coming to?
Yes, sir. Our Jamaica is now. What difference in Jamaica and Russia?
I wouldn't say Russia, you know. I would say Haiti.
No, man. You tell the people that can rebel and do what they want the government. Jamaican people and cover when they rebel. You don't see a group of people, so the Prime Minister must come and take off arms in a Haiti. In a Jamaica, we run lock up now warehouse because they set the police one way and so they upon the people in Jamaica. We can just imagine you against the Interior Commission being corrupt. The judicial system, the Integrity Commission
is corrupt.
Yes, sir.
In what way?
You don't say.
Why would you say that?
All right. Listen, Mr. Tavares. In November last year, Mr. Warmington and Mr. Montague said, they don't see why Intercommission asking if it were so much clarity and things, right? Then come the Parliament, come say it now. And then ask the House Speaker to take their demand to the Wasai Committee. I remember once a Warmington said to Mr. Bartlett about the issue. Have you seen Interior Commission send out any finding to any of them, sir?
They send the report to the table in the Parliament, sir.
We don't show up so Warmington and Mr. Montague on that, sir.
Well,
there's no guarantee. Right, but I'm saying a man who saw a letter that in 2021 them saying clear, everything is okay, and 3 after, then send something to Parliament and to the newspaper, so the man must come that court and want to pay him fine. 3 years now. And the man showed the letter when the Interior Commission say you are clear, and we accept your financial status. And the man showed letter from May 2021. And take them 3 years. I tell the man say you were 200,000. 3 years. So you want to say, at this moment, finally say the man some pay some money because the people were saying he was late.
Oh, you mean the member of the People's National Party?
Yeah, in Tavares. The man said let him documents so. Since year 2021, they send him a letter and clear all right.
Oh, you know St. Clair?
And the letter, you don't see the letter what him show. What the interviews sent comes in 2021. You don't see the letter.
No.
The man showed letter about he was on lonesome program. He was on anti-sin program. He showed the letter. He showed the letter that May 2021 in the commission selling to everything and they accept everything. But this month there's someone some things some of got court can owe them $250,000 for the late. In 2019 late filing nothing done.
You know what I don't understand, Paula? How is it that they can say that Mr. Vaz is QYZ? And until now, the Jamaican people can't find out about Aud-G Holness and the asset.
I never got there.
Why not?
Two persons of parliament said they don't know why they have to answer anything to anti-commission.
You said that already, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, how is it?
Yeah.
But until now, the Prime Minister of this country can't say nothing about his whatever.
And the commission don't take no action, don't find him. Because they corrupt the system. That's what I'm telling you, glad to go there. That's what I tell you, the government corrupt all the agency. Right? Because this one song is from 2019 now. And 2021, they give a letter. And 3 years after, if you have a media, say man to come and court for 200,000. But you have people who say an answer to nothing to you in public.
Won't make for say anything, you know.
Things say Bartlett, they say, if you want to leave, kind of go, right?
Won't make for say anything, you know, sir.
Well, you have to why they treat the Jamaican people so, sir? You know why?
Why? Because
them buy them vote. Them buy Jamaican people vote. So when somebody buy your vote, anything they give you, you have to take, can be pay off it already.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have any idea if Mr. When the Val's name?
Yeah.
Hold on there. Submit his declaration late.
There's a part of it. Him said, him have a business and they want him to provide an account of all the money generated. And him said, by the time the account, if you give him the something, it passes time.
So that means
that him supposed to. Yeah, but what him say, agree, sir. Him say, whatever, but then nobody never tell him, say anything, because he's sending him something. Right? He believes that everything. He not no problem paying the money, you know. Based on him, you know. But the problem.
If you submit something, if you submit your IRS up here, whatever submit up here, submit it late. They're gonna find
Yeah, what I'm saying, they send me a letter. After he submitting late filing, you know, the letter and the submit filing was 2 years after, a year after 29, a year after. Then give me clearance, everything is okay, I'm fine. Right? So the letter when that.
Sir, hold on a minute. I think up to nobody thinks that me have pain for me.
No, I'm not taking up.
Sir,
no,
I'm
yeah.
asking a question. if you submit your declaration late,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
there is gonna be a charge.
Agree, sir. Agree, sir. I don't dispute the fight in charge of.
So I have this.
My problem is that yeah, people like, as I said, Mr. Andrew Holness, Mr. Warmington, and Mr. Montague come out and say they don't answer to Integrity Commission. And they don't. No, this is the same. It's the same filing they refuse to do. It's the same thing.
But Mr. Vaz did not refuse to do it, sir. He submitted.
No, but yeah, I agree, sir. So out of submit late and refuse to do it. Which one is more detrimental?
Hold on there. You know if Mr. Montague and Mr. Warmington did refuse to submit their own?
They were in Parliament talking about it without saying their answer to the Integrity Commission.
If he said the answer to the Integrity Commission, that not say he's not gonna submit it. He said he'll not answer the Integrity Commission. That does not mean he's not gonna submit it.
No. You did what man him say. Some question them ask him about him business. Right? If the answer it. That's why they try this up today, oversight committee to change the policy. That's certain question, you're supposed to ask them. That's why I try to change it in the oversight committee. That's why some of the report going to the oversight committee to change. I follow that integrity oversight committee every week that they come on in Parliament now. There's certain question the AG asks about if you have a business or you get money, how much money make and thing. And that is a problem. So they are going to the oversight committee to change those laws.
When did you hear that?
I heard that up to November last year. Do you remember when Mr. Bartlett tell Mr. Warmington and can walk if he want to walk out?
Why did he tell him that?
Because there was he want to bring a policy, right, to debate, right? And Mr. Bartlett said, no, this is not the time for it, right? And get upset. So Mr. Bartlett wanted what to say. And that's the same thing that Miss Juliet Holness and before Miss Juliet Holness, Miss Dalrymple, who want to take the oversight committee to change those laws. The same thing with the Prime Minister. That's the same law they want to change. If you have a business, they want to know where you get the money, and you have to receipt. Those are the things they want to change. That's what Mr. Vaz got.
I'm getting a letter.
And I'm saying,
I'm getting a letter now from what Mr. Vaz is saying. The Integrity Commission hereby certify that your declaration as of December 31st, 2019 has been certified.
That's what I'm saying.
No, has been.
The other one said in May 8, 2021. That's what if we see. The May 8, 2021.
Okay, I will look it over, sir, and then I'll come back on here with it, sir. I'm not gonna.
Yes, I know, because can't tell me you discuss that something you say you follow it up and you do. I know you agree, sir.
Yes, but I think you're explaining what happened in Parliament between Everald Warmington and Mr. Edmund Bartlett. You're not explaining it properly, sir. So we have to go back and look back on that, all right?
And Mr. Montague want to, sir. Why they want the oversight coming to change some policy. And the same policy they want to change is that what reached Mr. Vaz.
Okay, sir.
All right, so have a great day, and I'm listening for that update and clarification on what I say.
All right, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Okay. Yes, sir.
The number to call to the program is 954-529-8030. I'm yet to be corrected, because if you file your reports late, aren't you supposed to pay some fee? Miss Williams, you said, listen to Andre program, Mr. You know what I do? I'm going to reach out to Mr. Vaz and see if he can come on my program and explain it to me, because I don't understand what is going on. Yesterday, I didn't get the chance to listen to to Andre Stevenson program yesterday, as I normally do. But I didn't get the chance to listen to it yesterday because I had some other things doing. I went on to his TikTok page and I saw him speaking. At that time, he wasn't speaking to Mr. Vaz. Here goes Jeffrey again with what? I'm asking a question. If you file your thing late, aren't you supposed to pay some fee? I think I'm yet to be corrected. I don't know. He was charged $250,000 because what? He filed it late. Let me get a hold of Mr. Vaz. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mecca program.
Hey, Jeffrey. So, my understanding from Mr. Vaz is and I'm trying to paraphrase. When in submitting first,
I can hardly hear you. Speak a little bit louder.
Yes. So when in submitting first info for the 2019 thing to the IC, there was something missing. He said he was operating a call center, and the account wasn't there. So them said, please submit that. But at the time, his accountant died during COVID. So he must have find a new accountant to deal with it. So it ended up being late. It was submitted, but because it was late, there's a fee of $250,000. But he wasn't aware of that fee. No, that's what he said. I don't know if, because I'm assuming that everybody should be up to date with the Integrity Commission Act, and if you're late and all of them something, there was repercussion. But Mr. Vaz did say, you know what, he never know about the charge, and they didn't come to him to say there's a charge of $250,000 until 3 years after.
3 years.
So when he turned up, yeah, in fact, the last time I hear from them is 2021, and then everything was good. Based on his letter dated April 8, something like that, 2021. So if I was in his position, me would think everything good, right? However, everything never good. Then contact him after and say, listen, there's a charge. So when he turn up to court now, he's thinking that that's the charge I'm going to pay for. That wasn't the charge that them have at court. Basically, instead of female returner from the IC, he said the charge is non-compliant, meaning they didn't submit the document. But when female lawyer now show the IC lawyer said, listen, we have a letter contrary to what you have, the judge put it off till the 30th of April. So that's when I go back to court now to try and figure out. So he's got a documentation stating everything was good. But he did state, listen, from where he's standing, he does owe 250,000 for the late submission.
So he had me say who that?
Yeah, he did say that. He said, listen, because the submission is late and that's the policy, he thinks he has to pay.
You know what I'm going to do, sir? I'm going to get a hold of Mr. Vaz and let him speak to me more about that.
Yes, definitely.
I want to do that. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of him.
All right.
All right, thanks.
All right, cool.
Okay. The number to call is 954-529-8030 if you want to come on to speak about any other topic. Kevin, don't answer the idiot, please. I'm gonna get a hold of Mr. Valls, and as what Miss Williams said, I'm gonna do that. Yes, Miss Williams, I'm hearing you, ma'am. I'm gonna contact him and have him to come on my program and tell me some more about it. Because to be honest, I saw a letter came up, but I didn't get the chance to go through it. I didn't get the chance to read it. And one of my good little viewers on this program here just sent me something to my phone, and I'm gonna go through it with a fine comb tooth, and I'm gonna call the gentleman and ask him if he could come on my program and explain to us some more about it. All right. No more calls for the day. Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you all very much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let me get to 20,000 subscribers, please. 20,000. Remember, if you're gonna subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, you gotta go on YouTube and look for Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares LLC. That's Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares. It is not Make We Talk. Okay, you have some people out there who's trying to ride on the Make We Talk back by opening a channel and name Make We Talk. It is not me. It does not belong to me. That's operated by me or any member of the Make We Talk program. Why not go read the paper, Mr. Vaz? Mr. Vegas? Mr. Vegas, when I read the paper? It's all over in the newspaper, Mr. Vegas. Do you read the newspaper, Mr. Vegas? The newspapers are online, you know, sir. Yes, we all know, say you're a JLP member. God help this country, boy. Hello, Mr. Vegas is a PhD person, you know. He went to the best university known in the United States. He went to Harvard University. So him should have known, say it was in the newspaper. And he should have known, say Mr. Vaz is a former MP. He should have known there's two Vaz and used to be in Parliament, one on PNP and one on JLP. He went to Harvard University, has a PhD in what? They should know that. Anyway, my good friend Mr. Vegas, give me a call. Anyway, everybody, thank you for coming on. Thank you all for coming on. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. I'm not going any further with this program today because you see, we're not troubling in the program here. You know. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for coming on. Hello, nobody kill Mr. Vegas. Please, nobody kill him. I beg you, nobody kill him. Please. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And may God bless you and may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, Don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.